Multimodal crowd counting via modal emulation proposes a novel two-pass framework for crowd counting that leverages multimodal cues to overcome the limitations of single-modality methods. This approach fuses information from different modalities, such as RGB, thermal, and depth images, to improve accuracy and robustness. The framework consists of two key components: a multimodal inference pass and a cross-modal emulation pass. The multimodal inference pass utilizes a hybrid cross-modal attention module to extract both global and local information from input images, facilitating efficient fusion of multimodal data and enabling the model to learn from the strengths of each modality. In contrast, the cross-modal emulation pass employs attention prompting to coordinate different modalities and enhance their alignment. This process ensures that the model can effectively leverage the complementary information provided by each modality. A modality alignment module is also introduced, which uses an efficient modal consistency loss to align the outputs of the two passes, bridging the semantic gap between modalities and further improving the accuracy and robustness of crowd counting estimates. The authors evaluate their proposed method on both RGB-Thermal and RGB-Depth counting datasets, demonstrating superior performance compared to previous methods. This research contributes significantly to the field of crowd counting, offering a promising solution for challenging environments and paving the way for future advancements in multimodal perception tasks. Multimodal crowd counting approaches have shown improved performance when incorporating thermal or depth images with RGB images, particularly in challenging scenes with low light and occlusion. However, simple fusion methods are limited in capturing the complementarity between modalities. Recent studies have demonstrated the effectiveness of the transformer model in multimodal tasks, such as the mutual attention transformer (MET) method, which utilizes a cross-attention mechanism to capture the complementarity of different modalities. This paper proposes a novel approach to multimodal crowd counting, arguing that a superior multimodal feature encoder should be capable of both fusing and emulating modal features. By transforming the input of one modality into the features of another through simple and efficient operations, the encoder can comprehend and align two distinct modalities well enough. The proposed approach leverages a two-pass learning paradigm to perform efficient modal emulation, alignment, and fusion. The two-pass learning paradigm consists of a normal multimodal inference pass and a cross-modal emulation pass that encourages the model to coordinate different modalities. A modality alignment loss is proposed to align the outputs of the two passes and bridge the semantic gap between different modalities. Additionally, a hybrid cross-modal attention module is developed, consisting of a straight attention mechanism that focuses on global attention and a modulated attention mechanism that emphasizes local attention, to enhance multimodal fusion power. This approach builds upon related work in multimodal crowd counting, which has introduced information from other modalities, such as thermal or depth, to enhance counting accuracy. By leveraging the strengths of each modality, the proposed approach aims to improve the accuracy and robustness of crowd counting in various scenarios. The authors discuss various existing approaches to multimodal fusion, highlighting the limitations of current methods in fully exploring modality alignment issues. They cite Zhou et al.'s work on a multi-modality cross-guided compensation coordination network, which predicts crowd density maps by complementing different modules. However, this approach does not fully address the modality alignment issue. The authors also reviewed transformer-based methods for multimodal tasks, such as Vilbert and LXMERT, which leverage cross-attention mechanisms to learn vision and language connections. They further mention Zhu et al.'s multimodal feature pyramid transformer, which fuses different modalities by intramodal and intermodal feature pyramid transformer. Additionally, Zhang et al.'s cross-modal feature rectification module and two-stage feature fusion module are discussed, which enhance information interaction between modalities. The authors then touch on prompting learning, which has achieved success in computer vision tasks. They cite Zhu et al.'s visual prompt multimodal tracking framework and Li et al.'s prompting method for extracting fusion representations between different modalities. However, the authors emphasize that none of these methods encompass the idea of cross-modal emulation, which is the central focus of their paper. The authors then introduce their proposed framework, which consists of a multimodal inference (MMI) pass and a cross-modal emulation, CME, pass. Both passes share most of the network structure and weights. The hybrid cross-modal attention, HCMA, module is placed behind each block of the dual-channel VGG19-like network. The framework takes an RGB image and a thermal image as input, feeding them into the first 3 blocks of VGG19 to extract modality-specific features. These features are then embedded and flattened to a sequence of patch embeddings. The MMI pass, which includes the HCMA module, is used to capture global local complementarity information. Meanwhile, the CME pass modulates features from one modality into pseudo-features of the other modality to enhance modality alignment. The features produced by both passes are fed into the modality alignment loss, which bridges the semantic gap across different modalities. The output features of the MMI pass are linearly combined and fed into a regression head to generate a prediction for the final high-fidelity crowd density map. The Bayesian loss is used to constrain the training of the overall model. The proposed framework consists of 2 passes, multimodal inference, MMI, and cross-modal emulation, CME. In the MMI pass, a hybrid cross-modal attention module fuses global and local modalities. This module is comprised of 2 components, straight cross-modal attention, SCMA, and modulated cross-modal attention, MCMA. SCMA captures long-range contextual information by fusing global information from both modalities, while MCMA fuses local details in different modalities, obtaining modulated complementary features. The CME pass shares the structure and weights with MMI but emulates features of one modality into another using an additional attention prompting module. This allows for the alignment of modalities, bridging the semantic gap between them. A loss function for modality alignment is employed to optimize this process. Through this 2-pass framework, the proposed model enables the integration of information from multiple modalities, facilitating more accurate and comprehensive understanding. The hybrid cross-modal attention module is a novel architecture comprising a straight cross-modal attention for global multimodal fusion and a modulated cross-modal attention for capturing local details. It processes feature maps through Hadamard product, sigmoid function, and concatenation operations. Local features are then combined with global features through concatenation and a convolutional layer, followed by a tool-layer feed-forward network to obtain the fused feature. This design diversifies the contributions of different modality features, assigning weights to each modality based on their importance. Additionally, the module incorporates a cross-modal emulation pass, inspired by attention prompting, to enable cross-modal modulation between RGB and thermal features. This innovative architecture enhances the comprehension and alignment of different modalities, leading to improved performance in multimodal crowd counting tasks. The paper presents a novel approach to multimodal crowd counting, leveraging the fusion of RGB and thermal imagery. This is achieved through the use of a cross-modal feature alignment module, which includes a feature transformation and a feature alignment process. The authors propose a new attention mechanism called Modal Emulation, ME, which emulates the attention of one modality to another by using a cross-modal attention map. This map is generated by computing the similarity between the feature vectors of different modalities. The authors also introduce a new loss function, the consistency loss, CL, which aims to align the outputs of the 2 passes in the network. This loss function measures the distance between the original and emulated features, encouraging the network to learn consistent representations across modalities. The overall loss function combines the CL with the Bayesian loss, BL, commonly used in crowd counting tasks. The BL measures the difference between the predicted density map and the ground truth, providing an additional supervision signal for the network. Experiments are conducted on 2 datasets, RGB-TCC and Shanghai Tech RGB-D. The proposed method outperforms state-of-the-art approaches in both datasets, demonstrating the effectiveness of the cross-modal feature alignment and the new loss function. The paper provides a detailed description of the network architecture, including the CME and MMI passes, as well as the implementation details such as the PyTorch framework and the hardware used for training. A comprehensive comparison of the proposed multimodal crowd counting model with state-of-the-art methods is presented on 2 datasets, RGB-TCC and Shanghai Tech RGB-D. The results, shown in tables 1 and 2, respectively, demonstrate the superiority of the proposed model. On the RGB-TCC dataset, the proposed model outperforms existing state-of-the-art methods, such as UC-Net, HDF-Net, and BBS-Net, in terms of game and RMSE metrics, achieving a game 0 of 11.23 and an RMSE of 19.85. This significantly improves upon the MC3 Net's performance. Similarly, on the Shanghai Tech RGB-D dataset, the proposed model surpasses state-of-the-art methods, including UC-Net, Det-Net, and BBS-Net, in terms of game and RMSE metrics, with a game 0 of 3.80 and an RMSE of 5.52. This demonstrates superior performance compared to IADM and DPD-Net. The model's success is attributed to the novel attention prompting module, referred to as CME, and the SCMA mechanism, which are integrated into the MMI architecture. This enables more effective fusion of RGB and thermal data. The model's design features 3 HCMA blocks with varying patch dimensions. The training process involves an optimizer, learning rate, and data augmentation techniques. The use of these components and mechanisms allows for improved crowd counting performance, highlighting the effectiveness of the proposed multimodal approach. The authors present visualization results for generating crowd density maps using different models, showcasing the effectiveness of their proposed method in aligning and fusing representations between RGB images and thermal images. The results, illustrated in Figure 3, demonstrate the superior performance of their method in terms of crowd density map generation. They also evaluate their method on the Shanghai Tech RGB-D dataset, with the results presented in Table 2. Their method outperforms previous advanced models, achieving the lowest gain, 0 of 3.80 and RMSE of 5.52, thereby demonstrating its generality and effectiveness in addressing multimodal crowd counting tasks. A comprehensive ablation study is conducted to evaluate the contribution of each component to the overall performance of the framework. The results, shown in Table 3, indicate that the HCMA module, consisting of SCMA and MCMA, significantly reduces counting errors, specifically by 6.25 and 9.74 in terms of game, 0, and RMSE, respectively, when compared to the baselines. The incorporation of the CME pass with the attention prompting module yields the best performance, with a gain, 0, of 11.23 and RMSE of 19.85. The success of the CME pass is attributed to its ability to effectively coordinate information from different modalities. The authors also experiment with different prompting techniques for the CME pass, including attention prompting and input prompting, with the results presented in Table 3. The results demonstrate the effectiveness of the attention prompting module in enhancing the fusion of local information and global representation between the two modalities. The authors investigate the effectiveness of their proposed method, HCMA, for multimodal crowd counting. They observe that HCMA outperforms the IP technique, potentially reducing its effectiveness by discarding prompts in each HCMA block. To validate their approach, they compare HCMA with the vanilla cross-attention module in transformers, ensuring both models have a similar number of parameters. The results in Table 4 demonstrate that the improvement achieved by HCMA is not primarily due to the introduction of the cross-attention module or additional parameters, but rather the carefully designed HCMA and attention prompting modules. The authors also evaluate the effectiveness of the cross-modal emulation, CME, pass, which coordinates the two modalities. They calculate the distribution of relative L1 distances between thermal and pseudothermal features, as well as RGB and pseudo-RGB features, as shown in Figure 4. The results indicate that most pseudo-samples have only a slight difference from the targeted samples, suggesting that the CME pass successfully coordinates the two modalities. Furthermore, the authors investigate whether pseudomodal features can be directly employed in generating the final density map output. They conduct an evaluation, as shown in Table 5, and find that concatenating pseudo-features and real features to feed the regression head degrades model performance. This is because, despite pseudo-features closely approximating the features of the target modality, certain discrepancies still exist, and direct amalgamation of one feature and its inferior counterpart does not lead to improvement but instead may result in a performance decline. The authors introduce a novel two-pass framework for multimodal crowd counting, utilizing a hybrid cross-modal attention module and a cross-modal emulation pass. This approach aims to bridge the semantic gap between modalities through a modal alignment module. The effectiveness of this framework is demonstrated on RGB-T and RGB-D datasets, showcasing competitive performance. This research was supported by the National Key R&D Program of China and the National Natural Science Foundation of China. The authors draw upon several key works in the field, including transformer-based image recognition and RGB-D salient object detection. Multimodal crowd counting is a burgeoning research area, with numerous studies focusing on leveraging the strengths of different modalities to enhance accuracy and efficiency. A seminal work by Wang et al. Proposes a multimodal crowd counting method via modal emulation, where the strengths of various modalities are emulated to improve overall performance. This approach has been pivotal in advancing the field of crowd counting. Other notable contributions include the work of Zhiheng et al., who explored multimodal tracking for enhanced visual recognition. Similarly, Yilun Li et al.'s research on prompting for visual recognition has further expanded the scope of multimodal fusion in crowd counting. These studies underscore the importance of modal emulation and multimodal fusion in achieving high-precision crowd counting systems. The significance of these innovations lies in their potential to overcome the limitations of single-modality approaches, which can be prone to errors or inconsistencies. By combining data from multiple sources, researchers can create more robust and reliable crowd counting systems. This is particularly crucial in scenarios where accurate crowd estimation is vital, such as in public safety planning or event management. In summary, the research papers discussed highlight the growing importance of multimodal crowd counting, emphasizing the role of modal emulation and multimodal fusion in enhancing the accuracy and reliability of crowd counting systems. These advancements pave the way for more sophisticated and effective crowd management strategies in various settings. Multimodal crowd counting via modal emulation is a cutting-edge approach that leverages cross-modal fusion to enhance accuracy in crowd counting tasks. This method overcomes the limitations inherent in single-modal data by utilizing both RGB and thermal images. The authors emphasize the importance of structured knowledge transfer and dynamic spatial temporal representation learning for improving predictive models. The page reviews several state-of-the-art methods for crowd counting, including efficient crowd counting via structured knowledge transfer, cross-modal collaborative representation learning, and Bayesian loss for crowd count estimation with point supervision. These methods are discussed in the context of their contributions to the field and potential applications. This comprehensive overview highlights the benefits of leveraging multiple modalities to achieve more accurate crowd counting results. By combining RGB and thermal images, researchers can create more robust predictive models that are less prone to errors from environmental factors or sensor limitations. The approach has significant implications for various applications requiring precise crowd counting, such as public safety, event planning, and urban planning. The research by Wang et al. Offers a comprehensive overview of methodologies and techniques used in multimodal crowd counting. It discusses state-of-the-art approaches such as neural architecture search, dual prompting for continual learning, and multimodal crowd counting with mutual attention transformers. The paper also references studies on spatiotemporal modeling for crowd counting in videos and cross-modal transformer models for 3D object detection. Additionally, it highlights recent advances in perspective embedded scales election networks for crowd counting in public transportation, cross-modal fusion for RGBX semantic segmentation, and uncertainty-inspired RGB-D saliency detection. The authors discuss the strengths, limitations, and potential applications of these methodologies, aiming to provide insights into the development of more accurate and efficient multimodal crowd counting systems. The application of multimodal fusion techniques for crowd counting involves the integration of various data sources to accurately estimate the number of people in a given area. This approach leverages the strengths of different modalities, such as images and depth maps, to enhance the robustness and accuracy of the counting process.